Okay, fact. I'm Dan. You're watching Dan's Video Adventures with Death, episode 145, August 15th, 2020. Last night, August 14th, I guess before midnight, I published the ebook version of Black Diamond Bubba's story. My son Jordan's autobiography of his short 29-year-old tragic life and how it ended with him committing suicide Christmas Day 2019 out in Black Diamond, Alberta. And then this afternoon the paperback version was published. It takes a little while longer to set up in that, so it's out there. I tried to keep the price down as low as I could, but I wanted to pick a good paper and a good ink, so the cheapest I could get the price down was for the paperback is $19.99 Canadian, and the proceeds from that go to suicide prevention awareness. And the ebook version is $9.99. And again, the proceeds that and my cancer books. I don't take the money from them. I didn't write it for the money. I wrote my cancer books to show what I went through going with cancer. And Jordan's biography is a twofold thing. It's first off, it's a biography of how I filled him. Almost everybody in his life filled him. How the Catholic Children's Aid took him, and he fell through every damn crack in their broken system and all the broken systems connected with it. So the book is his life story, but I also used it as a vessel to get him. Our system's broke and it cannot be fixed. There has to be a system built from scratch without using any parts of the previous system. Let this system run its course, because it takes decades to change. To build something like a child system. They've been doing it in California now, going on 3 years. I believe I forget because of my brain. The Blue Ribbon or the Blue Campaign or something like that. They're 3 years into it. They don't see much of a change yet, because first you got to change the whole mindset of society as a whole and how they look at these troubled kids or abandoned. They're not all troubled, and that's the whole problem. See, even I'm doing it right there. I'm saying troubled kids. Not all the kids in the group homes are troubled. Some of them got real bad parents and they had no place else to go but a group home. They end up troubled and all screwed up because they had no place else to go except the group home, and their parents couldn't get their shit together. I won't get too much into that part of that with Jordan, but I also want, I stress all through the book. I show where he just one failure after another and one useless agency after another. Every place he went, he had to do a 6-week assessment, and then at the end of the 6 weeks, they send him to another. They say, well, maybe he'd be better off here, and they send him there to do another 6 weeks assessment. That way, they're guaranteed the bed is rented out for 6 weeks at a time, because it's all about filling the beds. It's a money game. And the problem with it is everybody says the system. There is no system. There's no system whatsoever. There's a big group of social agencies, be they government-run or private-run, facilities, government-run, private-run, not-for-profits, profits, scam companies. There are all kinds of therapists and shit that are just milking the system dry, man, just milking it for every dollar they can get. And there's no logistics. The Catholic Children's Aid doesn't have to share. You say with Jordan's case, we needed files from one agency, from CCAS. They wouldn't share them with the other agency, Hinks, Dow, Chris, whoever it was. They wouldn't share them with them. They told them no, because they didn't like each other. That's not right. So the basis of every, you want to start a trucking company or any type of company, to move your product, you need logistics. So the first thing we got to do, we got to develop a logistics platform, the base of the whole shit and caboodle. And while we're doing that, somebody else has to be training society to stop looking at these kids, thinking of these kids in a biased way. Give them a different outlook on the kids. Let them realize that, hey, these are kids, man. They're kids. Logistics-wise, we'd be like an ombudsman's office, where they're untouchables. They're like the FBI on Elliot Ness, They are to make sure that the client And the clients, the youth, everything he owns that he has with him, all his files, all his medical information, psychological information, medications, everything there is to know about that child stays with him where he goes, as he goes from place to place. That if you go in and say, I want to know where Jordan Werner is, he just looks on his computer and says he's at such and such a place right now. He knows they know exactly where the kid is. The files stay with the kid. They do it in prison. You get transferred from prison, your file comes with you, And these group homes, they're just prisons, man. Kids are locked up. They ain't got much of a life. You can't tell me different. I grew up in 32 homes I grew up in, 10 years. From birth till 32, so don't sit there saying I don't know what I'm talking about. I invented the bad boy. They used to put me in roundhouses so that the devil couldn't catch me again. I corrupted them. I wish I'd turn that just a bit. Watch it's gonna fall down on me now. Hey, he's still smiling though. Yeah, so I stressed that a lot in the book. I point out a lot of things that went wrong. And I was not nice to any of us. We got almost 400 pages there of me calling myself a failure, but an understandable failure. I didn't hold punches with anybody. It's the story of Jordan's life, and it's not, it wasn't for entertainment. It was for the exact opposite. It's 386 pages of sorrow, man, of sorrow. For every letter, every keystroke I touched on that keyboard, I cried 1,000 tears. It took me I started writing it just before New Year, so we'll say January, 8 months to write it. If I was writing a fictional story that long, I would have wrote it in a week, 2 weeks. It took me 8 months to write it because I'd write 2 sentences and I'd cry for 4 hours. I'd write 2 sentences and I'd cry for 4 hours. And then I had to proofread it. I had to proofread it like 10 times. There's still a lot of mistakes in it. I think I got to order a copy. Well, not now because they won't let me print them if there's mistakes in them. They tell me. I think a couple of pictures came out real bad, but oh well. Pictures are a pain. I shouldn't have put the pictures in. If it's good, they always screw the book up. Always do. That's where you got to pay a professional to do it all, or at least teach me how to do it right, But I kept Jordan and I promised each other over the years, since he was a young buck, that if he died before me, I'd write his life story, and if I died before him, which was the way it's supposed to be, he would write my life story. So he was sort of mad when I wrote my autobiography, but him and I hadn't spoken in years, and I was dying. And then, but it got us back together. I don't know what terms. We were on good terms, up until he died. I spent 4 hours joking and laughing with him on the phone, so at least I know he had a little bit of fun Christmas Eve. And Caitlin, I gotta bite my tongue there. I have to, or I'm the biggest hypocrite on the planet. I'll just, I don't know if I can give forgiveness. I don't accept excuses. But it is what it is, So we'll just leave that at that. But it's the last 2 words, the end. 6 letters. There goes your son. The end. Your loved one, whether it's your son, your daughter, your father, your mother, your cousins. 2 little words, the end. And they're gone. They're gone. Just an urn full of ashes. Good thing I got a joint. But I'm relieved. I'm relieved. I don't know if I got closure yet. Like I said yesterday, 1 or 2 things is going to happen. Either I'm going to cry the rest of my heart of my life. I'll cry all the time, or I'll buck it up and keep going like I always do. I'm getting old. I can't. Everybody's telling me how tough I am. I'm not tough. No, I'm tough, but not that kind of tough. There's nothing left to me, man. With what this weight I got on, that's just all inshore weight. That's all just fats. And most of the time when my gut's big like that, it's because I haven't shit in fucking 3 weeks. Lucky if I go once a month. I said toilet paper last. That one pack of toilet paper do me a whole pandemic. Nobody came to visit. As you can see, I'm in a headspace, but I'm in a headspace. I should, normally I'd go visit somebody, go up and see Terry, or go down and see Jenny. I'm going to try to go down and see the pups, I think. Then I get down there and I can't take them for a walk along the beach because of the skunks and the raccoons and what do you call those other things, the two-legged things, or the punks. I don't like humans, and that's my good eye, Jimmy. Yeah, God, take care of Jordan. I hope he doesn't feel the pain. Oh, sorry, kids. Okay, let's change it. We gotta flip this script here. All right, take that sorrow and turn that sorrow into joy. We'll flip the script. Yeah, so he's not in pain anymore. Sure, he's got a place to lay his head down and food. So, more bonus. My throat's sore though, man. It's swelling again. Like, right leg is swelling up, and it's looking worse than the left leg. I got pictures of Jenny's cousin Dennis, who died of cellulitis of his feet. He gave me permission to use them in one of the books I'm writing. Flesh-eating disease ended up killing him. You wouldn't. I should write that blog. I don't know if I can put that in. I'd have to make sure no kids looked at it because their feet look like, oh, you wouldn't believe what these feet look like. And they killed him. Ended up killing him because he wouldn't let them cut his legs off. I don't know how he let them get that bad. But if you go down to Toronto General or St. Mike's at night, middle of the night, and look in the emergency hallways, when they used to line up in the hallways, there'd be at least 6 or so homeless people with those kind of legs. It's because they get on the heroin and they're just laying there and the blood pools in their legs and they get cellulitis, and then because they got cellulitis they don't feel they lose the feeling in their legs. They can hit whether they got abscesses or not. They can still use some of the veins that they couldn't use before, which makes it even worse, and then the flesh-eating disease gets them and Bob's your uncle and they're dead. Maybe I'll write that blog. I got like, when I get too emotional, I just start other books or ideas of a book. I'll write a short story and I'll turn it into a book later down the road. I can't tell you what kind of mood I'm in. That's why I'm sitting here babbling into a phone. I can't tell you what kind of mood I'm in. I have no idea how to describe it. Everything's been surreal since he died. I could see, if this was the old me, I'd be saying, why is God punishing me? He's not punishing me. He punished Jordan to prove a point to me. Like I said, I've outlived almost everybody. Almost everybody. I hate saying people's names because I say their name and then 2 days later I get the lighthouse feeling, or someone calls me and says, oh yeah, I remember we were talking about Joey Blowy yesterday. I go, yeah, he died this morning. So I don't want to say no. I only got a few friends left. I don't want to say your names. You know who you are. That's why I say that a lot. I always say when I love you sometimes, I say, y'all know who you are. I'm not saying nobody's name. Google's listening to me, man. Orwell, man, 1984. Yeah. Charlie Brown, 1964. The Great Tinfoil, the Great Tinfoil Conspiracy. Dan Werner, 1971. The LSD Conspiracy. Why the fire hydrant follow me? I've lived a weird life. See? Flip the script, man. Take that sorrow, turn it into joy. Jordan loved my sense of humor. He had my sense of humor, so, when we were good, we were good. It's just that, like me, when it's bad, it's bad. I go, there's no in between with me. If I love you, I love you. If I get up and tell you I'm going to kill you, well, I've already killed you, because I won't tell you I'm going to kill you. I'm not the guy that jumps up and says, I'm going to punch you in the mouth. I'll punch you in the mouth, and I'll say, why did you make me punch you in the mouth? And then I'll tell you why you made me punch you in the mouth. But I won't put a narcissist's butt on it. Because I told, I warned you twice. Shut the fuck up. I demand respect. I'm the only guy I know. I take allergy pills and my nose runs. I guess my sinuses needed to drain or something. Because I got that tree and some kind of lilac bushes and that right outside my window. So anyway, we're up on 15 minutes, 10 seconds there. That's my good eye, Jimmy. In bed. And anyways, I'm going to leave you with a word. Yep. No, I'm not. Because I can't remember what it was. Oh, Maltonia. Yeah, look that baby up. Was is Maltonia? It's the path one takes. Okay, peace out.